As we just heard, the 203K loan product can open up home ownership to many first-time buyers. We know thousands of first-time buyers are taking advantage of the federal housing tax credit, and the tax credit is scheduled to end next month. But our momentum with first-time homebuyers is just building. Jennifer Myers with RE/MAX Allegiance in Washington, D.C. works almost exclusively with first-time buyers. We're welcoming Jennifer to our studio today. We're really glad to have you here.
Thanks for
taking
having
the
me.
time. Want to get into a few questions and see kind of how your program works, how you've made it work. Earlier, Dave mentioned obviously the federal tax credit, the first-time buyer tax credit may be ending in a month or I guess 2 months. Hopefully it will be extended. But with the idea in mind that it may end, how are you encouraging first-time buyers that even after the tax credit expires, it's still a really great time for them to buy?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to build rapport with your clients and have them trust you off the bat. So the first thing I say to clients who come to me and say, I need to buy a home by the end of November, I say, well, hold off, because although the tax credit is great and it's a terrific incentive, there's a lot of other great incentives to being a homeowner. Mm-hmm. So for example, things like you can write off your, the interest and the taxes that you pay. You have to remind them of what that looks like. And for a lot of first-time homebuyers, nobody's explained or done the math with them about how much they could be saving on their taxes. And then also telling them about these first-time homebuyer programs like the 203Ks, and there's hundreds of other programs throughout the country that can give them money to help them buy their first home that have nothing to do with the federal tax credit.
Okay, and how do you, as you started to say, there's programs probably vary from state to state, maybe even from zip code to zip code for that matter, county to county. How have you uncovered some of those programs as you've gone through discovering them? Yeah.
Well, the first way to do it is to go through your state housing office. So every state has a housing office. So that's your first line of defense. Most states have some sort of program, whether it's a low interest rate for first-time home buyers, a reduced interest rate, or even the VA programs or things like that you can get from your state housing office website. But then also check your county websites, because they also have free money. So for example, in Washington, D.C., a well-known program is called HPAP. It's a down payment assistance program. And this year it gives up to $44,000 as a down payment. So it's an interest-free loan. There's some steps that you have to go through that in order for the buyers to get it. But at the end, they'll get $44,000 that goes towards their down payment, and it's an interest-free loan, free money that they repay over 40 years.
And these are primarily for first-time?
Only for first-time home buyers, okay. Yeah. And then another example is, I found that program and I said, well, I wonder if there's others in my general area. And there were some, like in Alexandria City, for example. You can, depending on your income, and most of these are income-based, depending on your income, you either get $25,000 or $50,000. So of course there's stipulations, but a lot of home buyers fit into these programs and they just don't know about them.
And some of them haven't even heard about the tax credit, but if they have, they do feel that sense of urgency, and it's nice to know that they don't have to just buy the first thing that looks like it might fit. They can actually take a breath, and even if it goes past the deadline, still have a lot of great incentives.